Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this holiday. And thank you so much for taking the time out of this session. Let's start today's discussion. Today, I am going to discuss about those specific kind of trades, okay, where you can make 3 to 4 times of return within minutes. Okay. These kind of trades, you generate these kind of trades, especially during expiry. Okay. These are expiry special trades. So on the day of expiry, we find these kind of trades where we get this kind of returns. Okay, so I'll be talking about those trades, how you can find that, what are the data points which you have to look, and how you decide the direction, how do you decide the strike, and how do you manage to capture this kind of trades. Okay, so that is there. Let me show you the example what we are going to talk about. So here we have this. This is the example of this like Tuesday's trades. Okay, Tuesday we had Fin Nifty expiry. So this is Fin Nifty trade actually, and so what happens, like Fin Nifty expiry on the day of expiry. This is the trade 19050 call that was bought at around 7 to 10 rupees. Okay, that was the range to buy that. It was well within that range for some time, and you can see the trade. It was at around 2:57. Okay, 3 baje ke, just few minutes before 3 p.m. Okay, so and the stop loss was 0 because this was a 0 kind of trade. Went up to 18, hooked half, 26. It eventually closed at around 34 rupees. Okay, you can see this is the chart of that Fin Nifty on that day. Okay, on Tuesday ka ye, this is the chart just this week's Tuesday only. Okay, you must be trading this instrument also on that day. So you can see, and now then there is another trade which was on this expiry, on this Thursday expiry. Okay, that was for Tuesday last week, and this is of Thursday just this week. Okay, so Thursday you can see 40 to 500 P, which we bought. Okay, this is like Bank Nifty trade. So Bank Nifty trade which we bought at around 3 p.m. It is 40 to 500 P. Okay, stop loss was 0, and then it went up to 23, and then eventually it went up to, like, Bank Nifty fell down very sharply. Eventually it closed at around 43 rupees, that particular option. So how you can take this kind of trades? Okay, how I decided the price, like, sorry, entry point, how I decided the entry point, how I decided the strike, and most importantly, how I decided the direction. Okay, how I decided that, yeah, Fin Nifty can go upwards from here, and how I decided that, yeah, Bank Nifty can fall down from here. So these burning questions I'll be answering in this webinar session. So stay with me. I'll answer everything regarding this, and using these concepts you can take trades in the next expiries also from yourselves. Okay, so and also one more thing, guys, you must understand that we are here, like a lot of people are there. There are people who are some of you have not been very familiar with options in past. So for them I'll start from basics, but eventually I'll discuss the strategy which is like which requires a lot of concepts with it, and I'll be dealing with some basics so that these concepts will be useful when when I discuss that particular strategy. How can you decide which strike and which like call or put? Okay, so just let's finish the concepts first, the basic concepts. Okay, and I won't take much time in these. Okay, don't worry, those who know about this also, don't get worried. I won't be taking much time regarding this. So first of all, options. What are options? Okay, they are derivative contract which give you this is the definition of options: give you the right but not obligation to buy any stock at a predefined price as expiry or sell. So index options are settled in cash, stock options settled with delivery. They were designed mainly for hedging purpose. All these things you have, you are very familiar with this. Okay, so you know very well there are two kind of options: call options, put options. Okay, and call options, their price increases whenever the underlying increases, whenever underlying decreases. Just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so I was discussing about the definition of option. Everybody knows about them. Call and put options. You guys also know about them. Now let's discuss the OI. Options OI. Okay, open interest is something which many of you may be knowing. Let me revise this for you guys very quickly so that those who are new, they will also know about this. Okay, this is open interest is nothing but the open position at a particular, for a particular option. Okay. We have option chain for let's say Nifty, Bank Nifty, anything. So or any stock. So we have option chain. There are different strikes are there. So whenever you see any strikes, there are call options as well as put options. Okay, for that particular strike. And for different strikes, we have different call and put options. So let's choose any one of them. Let's see. Let's say if we are dealing with any one XYZ stock and that 100 C, okay, the strike which is 100 rupees strikes, that's call options. Call option of that particular strike. Let's choose that. And let's say there are two people. One is A, one is B. B wants to sell this particular option and A wants to buy this particular option. Okay, A is the buyer here and B is the seller. When that transaction happens, the open interest will increase by 1. Okay, because a new contract has been created in which B is the seller, A is the buyer. So both of them have created this particular contract. Now what happens? Let's say A wants to sell this option, but B does not want to buy yet. Okay, so and then there comes C. C will be A will be selling this option to C, and C will be buying this option. So now the contract will be between C and B. Open interest will remain unchanged. Okay, open remains will be only 1 right now because that same particular contract has been transferred from here to there. Okay, the options like the participants which were earlier, they have changed, but the open interest is same. Now if both participants in a trade open in new position, Y will increase. Let's say what happens, there is another people, let's say there are two more people, D and E. E want to sell another option, the same option, E want to sell that option again, and D want to buy that particular option. So now what will happen? Open interest will again increase. Okay, there was already 1 open interest. Now open interest will become 2. Okay, so it goes like that. If both participants liquidate a null position, Y will decrease. If both participate make a new position, Y will increase. Okay, simple as that. Y will not get affected when the participants change their the transfer their option from here to there. Okay, to each other. In that scenario, the Y will not change. But in case of any liquidation of any position, Y will decrease. In case of generation of new position, Y will increase. Okay. If one is initiating a new trade and another is liquidating, Y will remain unchanged. Okay. Now, Y is also, I am really very sorry for this constant coughing, guys. My health is not okay right now. So, I'm having some cough and cold. Anyways, let's continue with the discussion. Sorry for the disturbance. Y is different than volume. Okay. Volume, what is basically volume? Volume is the number of transactions happening. So what happens? Let's say you see the volume of 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, how many transactions happened? That will be the volume of that particular 5 minutes. Okay. Let's say in first 5 minutes, let's say 10 transactions happen. Next 5 minutes, let's say 15 transactions happen. So that will be the volume of that particular time frame. Okay. Now what happens if Whenever you count volume, you count everything like A and B. When they were making a new contract, so that was also one volume. When they were liquidating that position, that will be also be counted by one. Okay, then the new position will be created, that will also be counted as one. So a volume will continuously increase. Okay, whenever we say ki volume has decreased, that means that particular time frame which we are talking about has volume of that particular time frame, the number of transaction in that time frame has decreased compared to the previous same time frame. Okay, and if number of transaction increases, then we'll say ki volume has increased, just like that. Okay, so volume, but for that particular time period, volume can only increase, volume cannot decrease in that particular time period. Okay, but Y can. Okay, so Y is totally different than volume. Volume is a very good tool. You must have seen that whenever I share any chart or anything, I only apply volume to that. I don't have levels or any, like I don't have, so I have levels, but I don't have any indicators or anything applied to my chart. Usually I go with the volume only. Now let us discuss about some things. Option sellers. Okay, you must have heard about this concept. You must be knowing about this. So option sellers, they are also known as option writers. Okay, and why they are important? Because it takes conviction to sell. Whenever any open interest is being created, the option selling party, they have to deploy at least 1,80,000, 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh capital for selling one lot. Okay, but as an option buyer, you don't need that much capital. As an option buyer, you can buy that particular lot in 5, 10, 15,000, just that. And they are selling that particular option with huge like using very big capital, and at the same time they are having unlimited risk also. The risk is not limited. Okay, it's not like as an option buyer your risk is limited. If you are buying a particular option at, let's say, 10 rupees, and your quantity is 100 for that particular option, so that means you will be having 1,000 rupees exposure with that particular option. Okay, you can lose maximum of 1,000 rupees. But as an option seller, if they have sold that particular option at 10 rupees, it can go up to 20, 30, 40, 50, any amount, and their losses will be increasing as the option price increases. Okay, so that means ki they are having very huge capital, they are deploying very huge capital, the risk is also unlimited. But the thing is, why, like, then why do that, why they deploy such trades? Okay, why what is the reason why they do option selling? Because, okay, now that question arises. So the reason is pretty simple, because they know that they won't be facing losses. They deploy their capital, they sell those quantities only, those strikes only, where they think, yeah, now the market is going to move like that, my position will be closing in zero and I'll be getting profits. Okay, so that is their aim. Okay, and buyer, who are the buyer? Buyers are usually the retail traders, because it is convenient to buy and less capital is required, well, limited risk. Okay, so because option sellers, they are facing huge risk and deploying huge capital, we assume that they are right. And all the data reading which we do in case of open interest analysis, that is done from their point of view. Okay, especially on the day of expiry. It can change up to some extent in some other days. We'll discuss about that some other day. But right now, on the day of expiry, the open interest, it is interpreted from the point of view of sellers only. Okay, and we take it as a given that they are right always. Okay, and taking this assumption, they are right, and they are, whatever position they are making, that will give them benefit. That helps us a lot. Okay, using this, their position, and using their build-up, we can make our positions also. Okay, so you can see option writing, that means if call writing is being done, that means sellers are thinking price of underlying will not go up. Okay, that means they are assuming bearishness can come in the market. And put writer, if put writing is increasing, sellers are thinking price of underlying will not go down, and that means bullishness can be expected. Okay, now let's talk about option Greeks. Okay, option Greeks, what are they? I'll be dealing with these very fastly, because I have already dealt it earlier also. So let's zoom out through this sharply. So they are calculated using Black-Scholes formula, BS formula. They decide to the premium of options. Okay, premium. What is premium? Premium is the amount you pay as an option buyer, the amount you pay to get that particular option. That is called premium. Okay. So the option Greeks, they affect the premiums a lot. So let's discuss about the option Greeks. First, let me introduce them to you. So here we have a delta. Delta measures the rate of change of option premium based on the directional movement of the underlying. Okay, how the directional movement will affect the underlying, that is measured using delta. Then we have gamma. Gamma changes the rate of change of delta itself, can be read with the help of gamma's value. Vega is the rate of change of premium based on change in volatility. Okay, how the volatility affects the premium, that is denoted in vega. Then we have theta. Theta जो है आपका, theta depends on the time left for expiry, and it measures the impact of time left for expiry. So let's discuss about them one by one. Delta gives you the answer to the question how many by how many points the option premium will change for every 1 point change in the underlying. Okay, so delta is usually 0 to 1 for call option, 0 to -1 for put option, and negative because put option they run against the underlying. Okay, underlying will increase, the put option will decrease, like that. Okay. Now, let's discuss about this. Deep in the money, they have call in the money, they have very good delta. Then in the money, comparatively lesser delta. ATM options, they have only 0.5 delta. OTM, again, delta is decreasing, and deep OTM, call option delta is decreasing. Similarly, put, they have, same goes for puts also. Okay, because in the money, OTM, the concept is same. ADM options have 0.5 delta, in the money 1, and OTM 0. And remember, close to 0, not 0. Option derivative contract can't run faster than the underlying. Now let's discuss about delta versus spot. This is a very interesting concept. I was rushing through the discussion of delta because I wanted to spend time here. Now, the delta changes as and when the spot value changes. Okay, you must have noticed this, because what we have discussed in this previous slide, key ATM options, they have the delta of 0.5. Okay, and in the money option close to 1, OTM option close to 0. So this is the three different values for all the options. Now you must have seen that key ATM, this keeps changing. Okay, we have option chain, and whenever the price of underlying keeps changing, depending on that, the value of ATM keeps changing. At one point, let's say 18K is ATM, and if market goes upwards, 18.1 will be ATM. If market goes further upwards, 18.2 can be ATM. So the ATM value will be changing at the money. Okay, and in comparison to ATM, the OTM and in the money, they will also be changing. Okay, 18,000 which was ATM, now it has 18,000 call, which was ATM at that time. Now it has become, once it crosses up to 18.1, this call will become in the money. Then again 18.1 will change to 18.2, then 18.1 will become in the money, just like that. Okay, and because ATM in the money, the any strike gets changed from ATM to in the money or OTM. So that means ki delta will also change, because we have seen that ki delta because we have established that ATM option have 0.5 delta. So now the delta will keep changing. Now earlier it was that particular strike was having 18,000 was having delta of 0.5. Now 18,200 will have delta of 0.5. Okay, so delta changes as and when the spot value changes. Okay, whenever the spot value will change, delta will change. So as the option transitions from OTM to ATM to in the money, so does the delta. Okay, delta hits the value of 0.5 for ATM option. Now you must have seen that the delta has increased for that particular option. This particular option, let's say 18.1, earlier it was OTM. Okay, then price went upwards. Now it will convert to OTM to ATM, and after that again price increase. So now it will convert from ATM to in the money. Okay, when the price went up to 18.2 level. So OTM, ATM, in the money. Okay, Now that means, let's see here also the same thing which I have explained in the example. Now you can see here, what is delta pre-development? Delta pre-development is when the option transitions from deep OTM to OTM. Okay, deep OTM, you can see very less delta. The deep OTM option means they are having very less delta. Then when they change from OTM, deep OTM to OTM, delta will increase. Then comes the phase of delta takeoff and acceleration. ठीक है, delta takeoff and acceleration. That means कि delta when the option changes from OTM to ATM. ठीक है, at that time the option increases exponentially in its value. Okay, so that is called delta takeoff and acceleration. Delta stabilization. What is delta stabilization? Delta stabilization is that when the option transitions from ATM to in the money or deep in the money. Okay? When the option transitions from ATM to in the money and deep in the money, so that we call delta stabilization. So this phase, delta takeoff and acceleration, this is very, very important phase. Okay? In this phase, you can see whenever any option becomes OTM for OTM to ATM and then in the money, so that means you will that option will increase exponentially in its value. And as you know that OTM option, they come cheap, so you can buy them at comparatively lesser price. And because of delta takeoff and acceleration, their prices will increase exponentially. Now, what does this mean? Okay, this theory, which delta takeoff and acceleration, this is very useful whenever you buy any OTM option. But the thing is, if you buy any OTM option and then you have to convert it to ATM and in the money, you have to hold till it convert from OTM to ATM and then in the money. That means you have to be very, very right, very, very correct with the direction. If you're very correct with the direction, then only you can go for this. Okay, buy OTM and then convert it to ATM and in the money. That will happen when you are very accurate with the direction. And for the direction thing, you will have to read the OI data. Okay, if you read OI data correctly, there are very good chances that you can correctly predict the direction, how the market will move. Now, why? Okay. So let me answer the why here. Sorry, guys, the disturbance. Now, the why question, I'm answering this. So what happens, let's say for any contract, let's say it is Nifty, and then there are two instruments, okay? Derivative instrument, there are two kind of instruments, futures and options. So futures, what are futures? Futures, they are linear instruments, basically. They don't have this kind of different scenarios. In options, we have different scenarios. What happens? In options, we have different strikes. Okay? We have a lot of different strikes, and each strikes, they have calls as well as puts. Okay? So we have calls as well as put for options, and using which, okay, call denotes something other, puts denote something other. If you read the correlation between these two very correctly, if you read the OI data correctly, and then you can correlate the direction from that, okay, how the market will move, that you can correlate using the OI data direction. Now, let's see the okay. So then let's see the other Greeks. We have gamma. Gamma is the rate of change of delta. Second order derivative. Gamma is the second order derivative. It answers the question, what is the expected value of delta for a given change in underlying? Because when the delta changes, when the underlying changes, delta will also change. And how much delta will change, that will be denoted by the gamma. Theta. What does this theta means? Theta means basically what happens, any option, whatever option premium you pay to buy that particular option, it has time value as well as intrinsic value. So what is time value? Time value means let's first discuss about intrinsic value. So OTM option, they don't have any intrinsic value. ATM in the money option, they have intrinsic value, but OTM option, they don't have any value. But still, you can't buy them at zero. Obviously, even if you go for OTM option, let's say you pay 50 rupees for any OTM option, that means that OTM option, they don't have intrinsic value. They only have time value. So the time value, 50 rupees, if the underlying does not move, okay, remains at the same level. So after on the day of expiry, what will happen? OTM option will expire to zero. Okay, this 50 rupees will convert into 0 rupees. that means ki this 50 rupees, complete 50 rupees, you can, the option seller will get into their pocket and you will lose that. So this reward, okay, our markets or even the world market, everything has been designed. The option and options like calls and puts, they have been designed like that only. Ki the option sellers, the big option sellers who are putting huge money in the table and then making the position, they get benefited somehow by taking their risk. Okay, so this time value, that is the reward for those option sellers for taking that risk, and this time value is something which keeps on decreasing. Okay, so it will constantly decrease. It will not get affected by anything else. And as you know, time runs in only one direction, forward. Now you can't turn the time backwards. So time runs only in one direction, which is forward. That means ki theta continuously theta decay is occurring. At no point you will see that because of theta the option prices have increased. It will not going to happen. Theta, because of theta, the prices will continuously keep on decreasing if any all other factors are same. Okay, and what happens if you are very near to expiry, this theta decay, that will be very huge. Okay, and vega. Vega is the thing, Vega is the Greek, which is like correlated with the volatility. What is IV? IV is something, the implied volatility represents the market participants' expectation volatility. How the market participants, like if you know on any particular day, how the market, like who makes the market? Everybody, like we have big players, we have FII, we have big players who are selling the options, and then we have retailers who are buying the options. So every participant of the market constituents the like they have something in their mind, they have some expectation regarding any upcoming news. Let's say election is coming, let's say RBI policy is coming, or the result of any particular stock is going to come. So that means ki that will get that will be represented by the IV. Okay, how the market participants, they are expecting the volatility regarding that particular event, that will be denoted by the IV. IV can be thought of as consensus volatility arrived among all the market participants with respect to the expected amount of underlying price fluctuation. Okay, so this is the expected amount of underlying price fluctuation. That means ki expected IV over the remaining life of an option. So IV denotes this, ठीक है, कि जो whatever life is remaining for that particular option, उसमें how much volatility we can expect in that particular option. So that is denoted by the IV. And IV is reflected on the price of premium. What happens? IV volatility increases before any event, and after the event it decreases. So the same thing, IV also increases before any event or any uncertain environment. Whenever any uncertain environment comes up, let's say market suddenly sharply goes down, IV will increase. Okay, so whenever IV volatility increasing, option buyers are benefited, obviously. And because all the options, they will gain their prices, call as well as puts. So if you're correct with the delta, then obviously you will be choosing the direction wise, you are okay. Now if IV also increases, that means the direction will also give profit to you. At the same time, IV increment, that will also give you the profits. Okay, so that means whenever volatility is increasing, option buyers are benefited, and volatility decreases after the event. Whenever any event like that happens, okay, after that IV starts going down, volatility starts coming down. And when volatility is decreasing, this is a misprint, guys. Instead of increasing, it should have been decreasing. Whenever volatility is decreasing, option sellers, they get benefited. Okay, you can see this is the sharp rise in IV of during fall of COVID. So you must be remembering that how much the options were increasing in value at that time. Now we are done with this. Okay, I'll be coming back to IV whenever when I will show you guys the example. I'll coming back to IV and other things. But before that, let me show you the data source from where we can get the data. Okay, so you can see the screen, guys. Now you can see this is iCharts. So I'm not promoting iCharts or anything. You can get this data from any site. Even there is Trading Tick, which is a free website, using which also you can get the data. But the only problem Trading Tick is having that they are having the wide data of only Nifty and Bank Nifty, not the stocks. So it depends on you from where you get the data. NAC also releases this data, but that is in numbers form, which is quite cumbersome to read. So we prefer this. And you can see these, these are the different strikes of Nifty. Okay. And this is the open interest build up at that different strikes. Okay. We have here like lesser than the ATM, then the prices which are higher than the ATM. So we have different strikes, and there are different open interests available at different strikes. Using this reading, by reading this open interest data, you can find the direction. Okay. And this is the very important tool. You must have seen that whenever I do UD analysis, I see this chart and decide that how the direction is going to be, like how the market direction is going to be in coming days. And other than this, we have a lot of other features which we see. Then apart from it, we have this cumulative OI change. It shows you the data change in OI of that particular instrument from like morning to market close. Okay. Cumulative OI overall, every like all the call option and all the put option, the OI of all the call and put options that has been added here, change in Y, and represented here. And as you can see, this is something you must understand that initial 10-15 minute may we get the like Y for both calls and puts, they are increasing. Similarly, in last 10-15 minutes, Y of both calls and puts, that is decreasing. Okay, in between we have different scenarios depending on what the day is, how the day is shaping, how the market is shaping on that day. And one more thing I would like to answer. Some of you can get this query. We get the data in at every 3 minutes. Yeah, it is true. From NAC, we get the data every 3 minutes. Okay, because they calculate the data of all 3 minutes and then release it. So within seconds, you get the data in here. And as per my experience, okay, and as per my trading stat knowledge, we also go with either 3 or 5 minute chart. Okay. And as you know, this is the Nifty Finance chart on that day. You can see this is Nifty Finance chart on Tuesday. So you can see before closing of this 5 minute candle, you won't take any action. Obviously, this is a very important level. You will wait for the candle closing, then only you will decide whether that candle was dozy or hammer or anything like that. You must have seen that whenever, let's say, if this candle, let's take the example of here itself. So let's focus on this particular candle, this one. Okay. When this candle was forming, it was going down. At that time, it would have been red like this. Okay. It would have been red like this. But eventually price went upwards. So it changed from this particular candle to this. That means always you have to wait for candle closing to decide the direction from the candle. Okay. And once the candle closes, then you decide. That means by the same time, OI data will also be available to you. Okay. Every 1 minute you won't be changing your position unless you go for very sharp trading on the day of expiry and all. So that means that is okay. Okay. 3 minute delay in the data getting, that is okay, because every 1 minute data that won't be showing us the direction much. Now let's so I answered the query itself before you can ask how we see the data. Now let's move further. In iCharts, we have a lot other data points also. You can see this was cumulative Y. Then we have multi-strikes Y, different strikes ka Y available hai. And then we have then option snapshot is also there, in which you get this kind of charts of all the strikes, ATM and OTM, how the OTMs are behaving, how the ATMs are behaving. You can get that from here. Okay. So there are different things you should explore, and we use all these tools in different scenarios. Right now, I'm going to talk about the expiry trades only, on which we get 3 to 4 times returns. So how we take that trade? So for that we need this OI chain data only. Let's go to the presentation, then I'll discuss that. So here we have, okay, now we learned about the data source. Now let's see this. Okay, let me walk you guys through those two examples so that you guys can understand how the data changed and how I correlated that with my reading and I took those trades. Okay. So this is the thing. This is Nifty Finance. It was trading at around 19050 level. You can see this level. This is very important level, and price has returned from this level, not once but thrice. And some of you may ask, sir, why are you not choosing 19040? Okay, 19040 as the resistance, because I have to go with the round numbers, because OI data will be available for these round numbers only. No, we don't have OI data for 18040 or 60 like that in FinNifty. I'm talking about FinNifty here. So whenever you draw any support resistance, correlate that with that of the round number present around that. So we are talking about this 19050. Now, as per price action, you must have learned whenever any level gets broken out, and after that a consolidation happens. So when this consolidation was happening, two things could have happened. Either one thing, either the market could have fallen badly and again came down, or market could have ran up like it did in Nifty Finance. And also you must understand that, guys, ki what happens on the day of expiry. Okay, the how the options expire, that will depend. Okay, that gets calculated on the basis of the closing of the spot. Okay, at 3:30, how the spot chart that gets closed at around 3:30 p.m. that denotes how the which strikes are the OTM, which strikes are the in the money. So because of this, है ना, कि 3:30 पे we have to expire this particular strike as OTM, this particular strike as OTM. A lot of fight goes on between the big players. Okay, the big players, they fight a lot with each other, and at the same time, the option like the smaller players, they will also be trapped. Okay, market can go further upwards like that. Still, the operators, they know that they have to expire this particular option at this point, this particular instrument, be it Nifty or any stock, but still they will take it to higher level, then again come down and close it at this level, so that they can take the prices higher and they can sell the higher priced call options. Okay, you guys know about that, na, ki they are the big player, they are sellers, and they have to make every position they are having, they want them to expire worthless. Okay, they want them to expire OTM. So for that only they do this kind of stuffs. Okay, this kind of fights. Now you can see this, you will have to see very carefully, guys. So you can see this is 19050. Yahan pe at this level Fin Nifty was staying for some time. Now here you have to see, because I did not took the screenshot from Zerodha. I am showing you guys the screenshot from FinNifty. In FinNifty you have historical data. Sorry, in iCharts you have the historical data also. So I'm showing you the charts from iCharts. So you can see historically FinNifty 19050 call and put options on the day of expiry, 15 November की expiry थी. On 15 November, how they were behaving at around this point. So you can clearly see this green line, this denotes the call option, and this red line, this denotes the put option. You can clearly see call options. You have to focus at this point now, because दिन भर क्या हुआ, whatever happened throughout the day, that is now irrelevant. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. I have to take one. Just 1 second. Huh? So sorry for the disturbance, guys. Let's continue. So whatever happened throughout the day, that does not matter now. The only thing that matters right now is the is the play between the call sellers as well as put sellers in this period. Okay, let's say this period keeps changing. On FinNifty expiry, market was hovering at around this point. Okay, and usually this happens after 2:30 to 2:30 afterwards of 2 and 2:30 p.m. we get this kind of sharp move coming. So you have to wait patiently. You don't have to trade before that. You have to wait patiently for an important level to come. And why 19050 was important for FinNifty? You can see price was returning from this level from quite some time, and it was in a range. So this level is important. And the play between the call sellers and put sellers in this time period, that will decide how your how the direction is going to shape up for FinNifty or any other instrument. Okay, it will trust me guys, in last half an hour or 1 hour of expiry, market will not get affected by anything else. It will and only get affected by the position of the big option sellers, because expiry is very big day for them. Okay, in half an hour they are going to get the results. Okay, let's say any option is trading at 10 rupees. Within half an hour it goes to 0. Okay, this is a Nifty option. So they are getting 500 rupees. That is very good for them, because they don't they have huge capital. Okay, they don't have to deploy their huge capital for much time. Within half an hour they are getting this. Okay, let's say in case of 10 rupees, if price they sell 50 or 60 rupees option, and within half an hour it goes to 0, that will be like a blessing for them. So for creating this scenario, they are deploying their money. They deploy their money and then make the market expire according to their position. Now, what is their position right now? Just take focus in that. Okay, just keep your focus in this and observe very carefully. You can see the call options, they were decreasing. Okay, when the market was hovering at around this region, the call option, the ATM call option, they were decreasing, and the put option, they were increasing. Okay, you can see the OI data of put was increasing, the OI data of call option, that was decreasing. It clearly indicated that put sellers, they have got an upper hand. Okay, put sellers, they have got an upper hand. That means the price will go up. You can see price will go up. This is call price, that will go up. That means key prices will prices of that Nifty Finance will go up, and price will go further up. So that's why this particular option 19050, that went upwards, and we made very good money in that. Okay, you can see 19050 CE was bought at 710 rupees. It went up to 34 rupees, like that. And now let's see the example of Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, what was the scenario? You can see Bank Nifty was in a range from last 2 days. Okay, this is example of just this week. So you can see Bank Nifty was in a range, and that range was not any smaller range. This range was very smaller. Okay, only 200 point range, but the level was very important. 40 to 500 level. This is very important level, and prices were prices were stuck at this level. So when at 3 p.m. exactly, you can see the how the like market was behaving picture perfect at exact 3 p.m. Usually the main action comes up at around 3 p.m. only. So at 3 p.m. when price touched the 42,600 level, so that was a make or break scenario. Okay, prices could move either side, and prices could have gone further upwards, breaking this level, and prices could have returned. Okay, so both the possibilities was there. And how I decided we have to go towards put side, I'll discuss in a while. But before that, you can see both the people had sold straddles at 42,500 or strangles at 42,600 CE and 42,400 PE. इस टाइप के स्ट्रैंगल सेल हुए थे, एंड स्ट्रैडल भी they were also being sold, had been sold. So these sellers, they have panicked and all. A lot of short covering would have occurred, and our prices would have exploded had it been the case. But whether it will go upward or will go down, that will be decided by seeing the data of those options. Now let's see the data of 42,600 PE, sorry, CE. Okay, this is 42,600 CE. You can see at this point, okay, when the market was going down, So this option that was increasing. Okay, ठीक है, यहाँ पे जो लेवल था, prices at that level only, थोड़ा dip आया था, there was a smaller dip, and after that this was increasing. That means the call sellers, they had their interest in selling these calls. At the same time, you can see when market dipped like this, actually Bank Nifty dipped. So this put option, this is the 42,600 put options. Their value increased. So at that time, the sellers, they decreased in their value. Okay, this is the open interest of this particular option. You can go to Zerodha and apply this study. It will be very useful to you. Okay, you don't have to pay for iCharts or any other software. You can straight away go to Zerodha and apply this study, and that will give you guys the same results. So you can see open interest was decreasing. That means the seller, they were not interested in to sell the puts. Instead, rather, they were interested in selling the call options. And if you look at the 42,500 P, the same story is there. Okay. Call option selling, OI was increasing. That means call option selling was increasing. So using which we can say that yeah, market will fall. Now what happens? Market fall to hoga. Okay, but how to decide the strikes? So the thing was that 42,500 was there. I knew that 42,500 has to be crossed for some time, because even they have to do their expiry. They have to make the expiry happen at around this level, and for that they will last half an hour their weighted moving average will be calculated, which we have discussed already. So for that only, they will have to touch 42,500 at least once, and they can close below that also. And for that reason, we went with this OTM option. Okay, and we were very well versed with the principle of delta takeoff and acceleration, and because of that, we were expecting this to explode, which we did. Eventually, this option, 11 rupees option, it went up to 43 rupees. Okay, which we bought at around 11-13 rupees. It dipped for some time, then it went upwards like that. There are other tools also in which you have to know about them. The price action, this is a very important tool, because price is something which is like very real time. Okay, price discounts everything, so you have to go with the price action. That will also help you. Then we have VSA, volume trade analysis also. Then we have ectopic theory. Okay, ectopic theory is something which when you apply, you can find how the any stock is going to behave, how the stock prices are going to behave like that. Okay, whether in intraday or next few days swing trade, how the prices they are going to increase from here to there, or they are going to from here to there. That can be read using the ectopic theory. Then we have gold dust theory also. There is one more theory which we apply on taking result based trade. Okay, whenever you have to take any result based trade, just like this. Okay, just say this PNB, when I was carrying 32 PE of PNB, 0.6 rupees. Next day, PNB opened huge gap down, and this particular option went from 0.6 to 3.8. So 14% fall was there in PNB. That was done. This data reading was done using the theory of gold dust theory. Okay. And this is very useful theory. Then we have a lot of strategies and Y correlation data points also. So you should learn about all those things. And then we have, you can see OI is such powerful. You can take this kind of killer trades also. Okay, this 200 rupees option that went up to 1,000 rupees. Then we have this. You must be knowing about the GNFC 11%. Then we had this. A lot of trades are there which are giving more than 100%, 200, 300% returns like that. So this thing I'll be discussing with you guys. If you want to learn about all those things, you can join the webinar. In webinar, I'll be discussing about these things in detail. Okay, the strategy which I just discussed, the expiry strategy, that's just like one of the strategies. We have a lot of different strategies. Okay, and we have a lot of scanners for intraday. We have a lot of strategies both in indices, in stock options for intraday, BTST, or result based trade differently. More than 1,000 slides I'll be explaining to you guys. I'll be very thorough. And if you join the webinar, I promise you will get very well acquainted with the Y data reading aspects, and that layer of accuracy which you want from your trading, that will be important your trading. Okay. And we have early bird offer also going on. Okay, you can use the code TCT40 to go get 40% discount. And another thing is, when you join the webinar, if you are interested in joining the Signal channel after the webinar, you will straight away get 50%, whopping 50% discount in the Signal channel subscription. So I invite you all to Cnceptual webinar. There I'll be discussing a lot more data points like this. Okay. If you are interested, you can come. If you can come, I think you should come. If you are not, somehow any price restriction or anything is there, then this strategy was also very good. You can use this strategy. But if you come to webinar, you will get a lot more strategies like this. Okay. So that is something I wanted to discuss. And now I'll be taking up your questions. If you have any query, you can ask me regarding this strategy or any other thing regarding Y data or anything. If you want to ask anything, you can straight away ask me. Yes, recording will be available. Yeah, those of you who have enrolled for webinar, no need to go through anything else. Okay, I'll be discussing everything in the webinar. कुछ भी homework करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Also, I would like to say कि don't read anything or don't see any video because I'll be starting from scratch. I'll be building the concept to the highest level, so you don't have to worry about anything. Okay. Go to this link, you will see that. Okay, right now we are getting, you will get, and one more thing. Will you explain all those theories in webinar? Definitely, I'll explain all those theories. Here are the reviews, guys. Okay, these are genuine, 100% genuine reviews from the real people who have shared their reviews with me in form of tweets. And these are the actual photographs I took of the Zoom session on last day of last webinar. Okay, I took this session, and this is the review. Go through them, just read them. Okay, there is a lot more to explore. Okay, than just price action or price chart. There is a lot more data points to explore, which I'll be exploring with you all in that webinar. So you can go through that and read the reviews. And if this excites you, you are more than welcome. Come to this, and we'll explore the world of options together. And I am pretty sure you will get a lot more learning. Okay. Thank you so much, Techno. Y data quantity based, we need to see, or lot based Y data. No, just straight away see this. Just straight away see this, and that will be lot. That does not matter. यहाँ पे जो data which you are getting ना, that is enough. Okay, comparison is there ना. I am office goer. How can I do option trading? This is very good question actually. So the thing is, guys, option buyer, they don't need much time. Okay? As an option buyer, you don't have to sit in front of screen throughout the day. What you have to do, initial 1 hour, 1.5 hour, they are enough. Okay, or last 1 hour, 1.5 hour, they are enough, because volatility is very high during that period. So your option buying is done in that time period only. Beach ke time pe option buying is not very fruitful. So as an office goer, if you get time in initial 1 hour or last 1 hour, that's will be more than enough. If not, then you will have to go through swing trading. Okay, and which that also I'll discuss in the webinar. What can we do with option chain? So option chain is something, I was getting this question in last Hindi session also. So let me show you. This is option chain. Okay, this option chain, which we get from this iCharts. So iCharts ka option chain is much detailed compared to the NSE option chain which you get. In option chain, you get all the data points. Okay? The Greeks which I discussed with you all, टाइम वेगा थीटा, टाइम तो ये कब का ऑप्शन चेन है उसका टाइम है, दैट डज नॉट मैटर मच. लेकिन you can see vega, theta, gamma, delta, and IV, how the IV has changed, what is the IV right now, how the OI open interest is, how much number is present, and how is the OI change, how much volume is there. Okay? As I told you, volume and OI, they are different. And then we have last traded price, bid ask. All these things are available in this option chain. Okay? So if you are someone who uses this gamma, delta, theta, so you can see this chain. Otherwise, this is not very useful for us. We straight away go to this thing and see that. Okay, this chart and see that, because it does not correlates. मतलब इसमें आपको number याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Straight away you can see the bar diagrams and decide the direction. Max fin, I'll discuss that. What is the time lag for this side? Actually, as I discussed with you, ki NSE releases data every 3 minutes. Okay, this OI starts data every 3 minutes. We get the data. So this side, after 3 minutes, this side gets updated. Okay, so you get the data after 3 minutes. I am very beginner, get confused with PE, CE, reading in IB, Y, etc. Don't worry, Chandrasekhar, I'll take care of this in webinar. Okay, in all my webinar, I have I go through very, very basic. Okay, and we will start with the definition of option. और वहां से फिर I'll take you the highest level. ठीक है, option का definition, call, put, सारा I'll discuss that. Don't worry. Vinay is having sensible, should that? Yeah, sensible is also okay. No problem with that. You can go through that also. That also shows you the same data. Data is important. From where you get the data, that is not important. In class, will you teach how to read the OI? Definitely. That's what class is for, na? Okay, every aspect of OI data reading will be taught in the class, and even after completion of this exhaustive 4 days webinar, I'll be taking 3 days discussion, like not discussion, query solution kind of sessions. ठीक है, I'll be doubt clearance will be done in coming weekends. ठीक है, तो मैं तब तक बैठूंगा आपके साथ जब तक आपको सारी चीजें क्लियर नहीं हो जाती. ठीक है, हैंड होल्डिंग विल बी देयर फॉर next 1 month. Vinay is asking, is the application of workshop more for index or stock? Both. Both. It works for both index and signal stocks. I trade in both. As an option buyer, I trade in both, because what happens na, indices, they are very good. Okay, whenever you get good opportunity in indices, that's good. But stocks may be na we have very good edge in stocks, because stocks options, what they do. Let me tell you, if you trade, let's say if you do option buying in 4 trades in the stock options, and in those out of 4 trades, even if your stop loss got hit in the 3 trades, if the fourth trade goes in your favor, because so in the rise in stock options is very huge, enormous, so that will cover up your 3 losses, and then again it will give you guys huge profits. Why? Because stocks, you must have seen that there are stocks which give 5, 10, 15% returns, 5 to 10, 15% movement in the day. Nifty does not moves like that. Nifty moves at max 1, 2, 3% like that only. Okay, so in stocks we get this kind of opportunity, and on top of that we have high beta stocks. High beta stocks are those kind of stocks which like I have the watch list for them, separate watch list for them. So high beta stocks are those kind of stocks in which if Nifty moves 1%, these stocks, they will move 4%, 5%, 6% like that. So these are the very high beta stocks. I'll share this watch list also with you all in the channel. Okay. And so that's why it's very important that you go through both indices as well as stock options. Yeah, sure, you can join. Video recording will also be there. You will get everything which I say, that will be recorded. Webinar pe whatever I'll be saying, whenever I'll be taking the webinar, whenever I will be taking the doubt clearance session or anything, that will be recorded and provided to you. Vinay is saying, very happy to have enrolled, feeling very proud that I have taken a right decision. Very excited, look forward to it. Thank you so much, Vinay. And trust me, you will feel more proud after the webinar. ठीक है, because those screenshot which I shared with you all, they are like actual genuine screenshot, so I know that people have given that kind of reviews, and I have trust that it will be same this time also. Y pulse, that also gives you get enough data. See, you get the data from any site. You can get from any site, that does not matter. Isn't liquidity an issue and circuit related complexity? Yeah, but if like stock goes to upper circuit, then also we don't have to worry. Options trading goes on continuously, and liquidity is not an. I know that you are talking about the stock options now. So liquidity is also not an issue, because stock options, what you have to do for tackling out the liquidity, what you have to do. Let's say you are trading in Naukri. So what you have to do straight away, just a Nifty, Naukri is right now 39, it's already a round number. Let's say any Naukri is trading at 38,800. You want to buy any call option. So you can either go with 3,900, because that will be OTM and round number, or you can go with 3,800. If you feel that expiry is very near and I have to be conservative, you go with 3,800. Like that only. Suppose CNX Finance, you have to go for the strike of 510 or 500, 520, like that. Okay, the round numbers, whenever you go to the round numbers option, then you will be not be facing the problems of liquidity. You can see this from here also. Let me share this with you. This is liquidity. Just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so this is just a second. So yeah, here you can see this is the option chain, and we get from Cnceptual. So here what happens, we have this background pay. You can see the open interest that has been drawn here itself. So this is Nifty, obviously no liquidity issue. Let's say you want to trade in any smaller stocks, let's say BHEL. So if you want to go through this, if you want to buy any call options of BHEL, you have to see this ki, yahan pe we have liquidity. So Y is good enough in this particular strike, so we can buy this strike. This is 75. Or then you can see 70 में we have enough call option. बीच के मत buy करो, you can go with this. और यहाँ पे इतने भी चल सकता है. Why? Because Y is in lakhs and you have to go with only 1 or 2 lots and all. तो वहाँ पे भी, and then we have 80 में भी we have liquidity. Liquidity issue is not there in these round numbers. Similarly, here also 70, 65, no liquidity issue, like that. Okay, so you can go with the round numbers. You won't face liquidity issue in the stock options. I do not know Hindi. Will the class be separate for English? Actually, the class is mainly in English. First, I discuss everything in English. Okay? Then I repeat that in Hindi. So mainly the main mode of communication is English. You must have seen that the daily videos that also I make in English. Okay? Whatever English I used in this session, the same English I'll be using, because English is something which everybody knows. Hindi mein we are having problem. I know about this issue. Earlier I did not knew about this, but right now I know yeah, English, Hindi speaking people generally can understand English, but that's not vice versa. So now English is my primary language which I use. Continuously nahi hai. I'll be giving you guys the lunch break and snacks breaks, everything. But yeah, all 4 days, around 40 hours completely. Volume, there's one question ki how important is volume analysis and price action for this methodology? Not just about this methodology, volume and price action are important for any methodology. Okay? You can go with any study. Let me tell you, if you are trading based on indicators, trading based on Camarilla, Fibonacci, RSI analysis, or anything else, order for anything else, the main crux is the price and volume. And on top of this, why I have chosen Y despite of knowing about all these strategies, why I have chosen Y, because Y gives you an extra layer of protection. ठीक है, if Y is confirming that कि हाँ, yeah, this trade you can take, this moment you can take, then that trade will be very much sure shot, okay, using which you can make very good money. Okay, so it's always helps, because in the market we have a lot of markets are very tough. Okay, markets are not easy. Making money in the markets is not easy. So it makes sense then that you go with your full preparation. Okay, if you know about price action and VSA, then you add Y to it. It will be very useful. If you don't know, I'll discuss about price action and all also. Price action is very important tool, because what happens, price is something which is very exact, accurate description of either bullishness or bearishness of that particular stock or index. Price जो भी रहेगा, that is the exact representation. Yeah, its price is higher. That means कि this index is going upward. Price is going down. Index is going down. Same representation. Okay, so price is the real time representation, and you add to volume. It is very useful, and if you add OI data, and then nothing can beat you. Okay. So I hope that was it, guys. Okay, I'll tell you, just go through this website, and this is your own website. Okay, go through this website, read the reviews. You will learn a lot, and if you get confidence, if you are interested, you can enter in this. Click on register now. You'll see this. So this is the price 16,500 right now, but if you apply this code, where is the code? Yeah, have a coupon code. Just click on that and type TCT 40. You will get 40% discount. It will come to 9,900 around some, which not in my opinion, which in opinion of previous attendees and everybody is fair enough price, and which is much lesser compared to the quality of data you will be gaining from this webinar, that I can assure. Okay, you will be able to read OI very correctly, accurately, and you will be using that straight away. After the 4-day session is over, you will be using every day. And one more thing with OI is that OI gives you that extra layer, so that means your overtrading will vanish. If you are an beginner trader, so the main problem what we see is like if green candle is forming, we buy calls, red candle forming, we buy puts. Overtrade, we do a lot of overtrade. We make losses in any trade, then we go for recovering of that trade and all. So all these things will be killed off. Okay, if you add OI to this, then obviously you will go for fewer but very high quality and very high hit ratio trades. Okay, so that is something you should understand. Can I join offline? Yeah, you will be getting the recordings. You can see that. Okay, online भी join कर सकते. Offline, Asha means offline. No, I don't do offline webinars and all. Indicators, I never use, ma'am. Niharika, ma'am, I never use indicators, so I don't use them because I don't need them, because most of the indicators, they are lagging in nature. OI is one of those kind of indicators which is leading. Okay, before it gets developed, before movement happen. है ना, you should understand. अभी आपने webinar, if you have attended today's webinar, so you must be knowing कि the option sellers, they will get profit when, let's say, market was falling, let's say Bank Nifty was falling. ठीक है. So option sellers, when will they make money? Okay, sorry for the so here you can see if market was falling, if Bank Nifty was falling like this, okay, so obviously when Bank Nifty was falling, option sellers will want to, the big player, they want to capture the maximum profit out of this. So they will be making their position before the fall, not after. So before the fall, they will be making their position in options. Okay, they will be selling those kind of options. If you read them, you can ride the fall. Okay, but yeah, our instruments is different, because as in because we are correct with the direction of edge, we are correct with the direction. So if you are correct with the direction, the best way to make use of that instrument, that directional correctness, is option buying. Okay, option buying gives you multiple returns compared to the option selling if you are correct with the direction. Okay, why 3-minute delay? It is possible to give live data Actually this is from NSE only. NSE releases this data every 3 minutes. ठीक है, lifetime live data we don't get from NSE, so इसलिए nobody can in US market you don't get this also. There you have to pay for those data packages extremely highly and all. मतलब compared to them, our markets are very transparent. Whatever data we are getting, the same data the big operators they are also getting. So that is very interesting. Okay, you don't have to go through this eye charts also. You can uh, so you don't have to go through this eye charts also. You can get the same data from NSE site also, but that will be in form of numbers. Okay. Can we have one place repository for all the valuable PDFs you have shared with which we can download? These are so valuable. Thank you so much for your nice comment, Vinay. So you can go to the Telegram channel. There you can read the previous files are there. So from there you can. I have in my channel they are available. So वहाँ पे files में everything is available. In conceptual webinar 5.0, you are getting the benefit of 50% discount in the signal subscription. Okay, let's say you go for 6 months subscription, then you will be automatically you'll be saving 11,500 rupees in that subscription if you attend the webinar. Yeah, you can not be big players, they can manipulate. See, manipulation is not done using option writing. Manipulation is done using the stocks, but before making benefit from that manipulation, they are using the indices. There is one question, I'm answering that question. Can the help of money flow in cash, can we make Nifty up without option writing? सो आप ये समझो कि वाई विल दे डू दैट. ठीक है, निफ्टी को तो खरीदे बेच नहीं सकते. ठीक है, ऑब्वियसली लिक्विड बीज या निफ्टी बीज पे नोबडी इज लाइक बिग प्लेयर, दे वोंट बी ट्रेडिंग देम. दे वांट टू मेक मनी फ्रॉम निफ्टी एंड बैंक निफ्टी, तो ओनली फ्यूचर्स and options. Okay, they are the tools for them, and that too option is very convenient and much more rewarding than futures, so they go with them options only whenever they have to like manipulate the markets. Okay, manipulation will be done using the cash segments obviously, but afterwards, like if you have to see at the end of the day, what is Nifty? Nifty is the index containing the data of top 50 stocks of India. And then we have Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is the index of all the banking stocks. So if banking stocks, let's say HDFC goes up, Bank Nifty will go up. Let's say HDFC, ICICI Bank goes down, Bank Nifty will go down. Both goes up, then Bank Nifty will straight away go up. Both go down, Bank Nifty will go down. Like that only. So they are manipulating the markets using that. Okay, Reliance, Infi, TCS. They are the major player of Nifty universe. So they are also get manipulated by the operators, so that Nifty moves in a particular time period, and they get benefit from that. Okay. And in last, I will share one important thing. ठीक है, one more interesting thing for you. जो last तक रुकते हैं उनके लिए I always give some gift, so that I'll share. People, I answered the same question. People is asking, sir, are there manipulators in the market, and what tools they use to manipulate, like stock or futures? अब वही बताया ना, स्टॉक्स को यूज करके मैनिपुलेट किया जाता है मार्केट को, एंड बेस्ड ऑन पोजीशन बनाई जाती है. दे मेक देयर पोजीशन इन डेरिवेटिव्स, बट द मैनिपुलेशन इज डन बेस्ड ऑन द स्टॉक्स. One more thing I would like to discuss with you guys is that do you guys know about LIC? LIC is the biggest DII, ठीक है, of India. LIC you may be knowing, मतलब your father, ठीक है, your father uncle won't be knowing about the stock markets. Still, he must be having 1 or 2 or 3 LIC policy for all of you. So that happens. All the money from Indian households is with LIC. And what LIC does, LIC is the biggest manipulator of the market. So they come to the market, they do trading with that money, and from the profit, whatever they are generating, they will be giving a portion of that profit to you guys and keeping the last sum with themselves. So they manipulate them. They have huge money, thousands of crores of money they are having. So using that huge money, they are manipulating the markets. And for getting profit from the manipulation, they are going with the derivatives. Okay. If you read the data, how the derivatives are being played, if you read that, then obviously you can make position from for yourself. And they are in the markets to make thousands of crores, or they are deploying thousands of crores to make hundreds of crores in a year. But we are here to make just like hundreds of lakhs. That will be enough for us. So we just have to copy their position, and then we'll be more than good. How to read their position? How you can read how they are making their position, at what level they will take the position, at what level they will make the stock fall, or like that. That you can read from Y data. Y data tool is very useful. Using it you can read extremely important data points and make very killer trades. Okay. Niharika ma'am is asking, can you please share this recording in your Telegram channel? All the email. Yeah, I'll share the recordings. From last 2 days after 3 p.m. they change direction. Exactly, this thing happens. Okay, this will come up in the cycle. 3 p.m. pe change karne. Earlier they used to change the stance at 2 p.m., 1:30 also. All these things we can all these things we can tackle with Y data. Okay. Adani is favorite of LIC, sir, too much money. Exactly. Adani is something, that kind of stock which is running with such high PE value. It makes absurd, like PE value of Adani is very absurd. So I always tell, even in Elite Club or Signals channel, I was telling you the guys ki whenever I take session, weekend session pe, so I tell them ki Adani is good for trading and not at all good for investing. Okay, because PE value is such high, they have huge debts at any point, like they can crash down. So not good for investment. Trading ke liye, that's very good, very high beta. Okay. Yeah, there was one gift. Okay. Yeah. It's I was forget. So the thing is, आप समझो, earlier I discussed Adani, as I told ना, trading के लिए it's enough. देखो अडानी में तो पैसा पंप अप हो रहा है, till the time money is there and nothing is there, तो it will get pumped up and up. ठीक है, उसके कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So let's talk about the gift I was telling. ठीक है, गिफ्टिंग है, एक सिंपल सी चीज है. So the thing is, whenever on any expiry day, if you want to know how when the expiry is, like you must have seen ना कि I discussed with you all कि last half an hour का average होता है. We get the average of that last half an hour. So if you want to know at any given time कि where the average will happen, okay, at what point the average will happen. So what you have to do, just go through the indicators and choose weighted moving average from here. Okay, moving average weighted, and apply that indicator on a 1 minute chart. Okay, 1 minute chart, and the length should be 30. So this will give you guys the exact accurate representation of where the expiry is going. Not very exact, okay, because the NSE calculates some other data points are also there. I don't know about them, but this gives you an exact representation कि where the expiry is happening right now. जैसे यहाँ पे आप समझो, this is very important, guys. Pay attention to this. Nifty Bank was staying at 42,600. It fell down up to 42,500 and bounced back. Okay, did you guys notice? It bounced back. And had Nifty has to expire between 42,500 and 600, ये यहाँ पे फिर it would not have fallen like this. It would have sustained here only. But ठीक है, but आप ये समझो कि यार वो तो ऑलरेडी यहीं पे था. ठीक है, the moving average had not crossed 42,600 and it was already at this level. So उनको यहीं पे लाना था, तो ये sharp fall वगैरह नहीं करते. ठीक है, तो there was one thought back in mind कि yeah, they have to take the prices lower than 42,500. Also, I was tracking Bank Nifty from last 2 days continuously. I track both indices continuously throughout the day. So I knew that ki 42,500 ke around some pe expiry. Then I read the data, ki how the calls and puts of both the indices, like both the levels are behaving 42,500 as well as 600. And I decided, nahi, they have to take the prices further down. So you can see after formation of this candle also prices, like the average price was above 42,500. Okay, है even after formation of this big candle, this big red candle, prices were above 42,500. When prices went down and down and down like this, then only the price came like this. यहाँ पे जब आया, ठीक है, when price touched this level, tab you can see how the average came down. Average came below 42,500. And afterwards when market अब इसके बाद काम ये था कि इसको इसी लेवल पे रोकना है, ठीक है. अगर ये फिर ऊपर ले जाते तो ये तुरंत ऊपर चला जाता, फिर एक्सपायरी वुड हैव हैपेंड अबव 42,500. और इससे और नीचे अगर शार्प लेके जाना रहता उनको, अगर 42,500, तो फिर और जल्दी शार्प फॉल करना पड़ता. Obviously that was not possible उनके लिए, और they were not interested in doing that also, the operators. I'm talking about the operators here. So they what they did, ठीक है, they made the market to move sideways in this moment so that it stays below 42,500 and their profits are maximum. Okay, so that is the plan. You can decode the plan using this weighted moving average. This is something which will come to practice, ठीक है, come with practice. आप practice करिए, चीजें आएंगी. और इसके अलावा there are a lot more things to learn about white data which I'll discuss in the webinar. Okay, so thank you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and what I was saying. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the webinar, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the webinar. Do join if you can, then please do join. You will learn a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care. I'll see you later. Thank you. Have a very profitable day tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the weekend.